Okay.
Okay. Do you remember that teacher that was like...
Of course I do. Our teacher for what class was it? Nursing?
You know, it's just funny and how you know, like, we're both on the same page about... Okay, so we're, like, kind of on the same page about shit because we've explored a lot of shit to try to, like, get somewhere in our lives. We took a help with, was it, like, a CPR class? Because maybe we're going to be paramedics together.
Dude, that shit was so funny.
It was CPR, right? Or it was like, no, it was like a paramedic class.
Yeah. No? It was to get, I think we got CPR certified.
Yeah, something like that.
I don't know why we took that class, but I think I told you, I was like, hey, I'm going to take this class because I think I'll be a nurse or whatever. And you were like, dude, I'm going to take that class too. And I was like, cool, let's go together. Like,
I think, like, for me, I just, like, never wanted to go to college, so I was always, like, open to options of, like, doing trades or, like, doing things where I didn't have to go to college.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it sucked.
And yeah, I just feel like that class was, like, a waste. Like,
yeah, I didn't learn anything.
I don't remember shit. I just remember it being so boring. It was so boring.
And I remember it was actually really, really hard, too.
I don't remember. Did we even pass?
I think I got, like, a C or maybe a D.
How did we get graded? That wasn't even at our high school.
There was tests.
Was it at our high? No.
It was an after-school class.
It was...
I can't remember what it's called.
Was it, like, brought to you by Alhambra High School?
Yeah, it was called, you get high school credits for it.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't remember that shit, dude.
I can't remember the term, but it was basically like an after school.
I can't even remember what the name of the class was.
Dude, it was...
all I can remember is, like, I would fall asleep.
You would sleep, yeah.
And, like, our teacher would always be like, okay. It was, like, South Park.
The class was at the worst time. It was, like, from, like, 6 to 9 or something crazy.
What the hell? We're acting like we're in college already.
Yeah.
That's stupid.
What grade were we in?
I don't even know.
I think we were juniors.
I just, like, hated that we took that class because we learned nothing. It actually didn't even benefit us. And, like...
Yeah. But it brought us closer together.
We're so stupid.
That's where our friendship began.
Yeah. Just exploring.
Like, we weren't even friends, and then we were like...
We became friends?
Yeah.
I don't even remember the whole process of that.
Remember you would come to my cousin's house?
Yeah, and, like, her grandpa would pick us up.
Yeah. Good times.
How did we even get there?
I remember I would walk.
Did we walk?
I think, honestly, I don't remember us going there together. I think you would meet me there separately. I think you had a boyfriend.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, I remember I would walk or take the bus. One time, do you remember David, the really short guy?
Yeah.
Sorry if he's offended by that.
But sorry, David, if you're listening.
Yeah.
You're probably not.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to tell Jesse to tell him to listen.
Yeah, because doesn't Jesse talk to him?
Yeah.
Dude, no, this is cool, though, because one time he saw me, he was driving, and he gave me a ride.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it was really nice.
Really cool of him to do that.
Yeah.
He's like, where are you going?
He's like, I'll give you a ride. Because, like, none of our friends drove, so it was like, whoa, like, you're driving in
I know, it's crazy because, like, you see, well, okay, I live by a high school, and there's all these fucking kids driving cars, dude. It's so annoying. I see kids driving Teslas.
What?
Doesn't that piss you off?
No.
It's probably not theirs, but it's still like, what? How are your parents letting you drive their fucking Tesla?
We were taking the quarter bus.
Meanwhile, like, in Alhambra, nobody fucking drove.
There was literally, like, 2 or 3 people. I remember, like, you remember Chris Jofung?
Yeah.
He had a car, I remember. I saw him at Super A with the car.
Oh, rest in peace, Super A.
Yeah, seriously.
Now it's, like, apartments.
Stupid. Where do they have fights at now? The apartments.
Dude, I used to love Super A though. Like, it makes me sad that it's not there anymore. It makes me sad that there's a lot of Super A's closing down too.
Memories.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
You get your drink there. That was where the fights were.
Yeah, they would always be at Super A.
Did you ever see any good fights at Alhambra?
I did. Do you remember?
I saw them more when we were younger than when we were older. I don't know if you remember that.
When we were freshmen, there was a lot more fights.
Yeah, right?
But as we got older, like they kind of died down a bit.
I wonder why.
Because we're not fighters, you know. Like
we didn't fight. It's just like, oh, our generation wasn't fighters.
Yeah,
the generation before us was rowdy.
Yeah. Skips generations. No, I remember. Do you remember Chris? I think her name's Christina. She's Asian.
What do you mean? I think her name's Christina. Yes, Christina Lynn.
Dude. Okay, my bad. I know like literally like 5 different Asian Christinas.
Oh, I guess there are a lot of Christinas.
Yeah,
that are Asian.
Yeah. So, the best fight I saw was with her, and I remember her hair got ripped off, but it was fake.
I think I've seen that fight.
Yeah, a piece of her fake hair came off.
Who was she fighting? Who was fighting her?
Dude, I don't even know. But it was someone older.
Yeah,
I think it was about a guy.
Well, I think all fights with girls are like about guys.
Oh yeah, yeah. Probably.
That's crazy.
That was a good one.
Go, Christina.
Yeah, she was really funny, dude.
She was.
She was so freaking cool. Wonder what she's doing right now.
I don't know. She's on Instagram. You don't follow her?
You have her on Instagram?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, dude.
Me and Christina. This is actually really funny because me and Christina actually did a dental class together.
Oh, you're just doing all these random ass classes with people.
I'm telling you, that's why like I started this conversation because I'm like, that's how you know that like we tried because me and Christina wanted to do dental assisting because we didn't want to go to college.
Yeah.
And
how did that go?
We actually did really well in that class and we got our certificates.
When did you do it?
Probably not too long after we graduated high school.
Oh, after?
Yeah.
Okay.
And, yeah. So, I actually don't remember, like, where her direction went. We even took a pottery class together.
I didn't even know dude, I didn't even know you guys were friends.
Yeah, like, I don't know how that... I think we just kind of stumbled into these classes together. I don't think, like, we planned to take these classes together.
It was meant to be.
I think that's what happened.
Pottery. She's like a dentist now, probably.
Yeah, we both wanted to be, like, dental hygienists or, like, assistants or something like that. And, yeah, that just happened coincidentally. And then afterwards, the way I felt about it was we got our certificates, and then the professor was like, yeah, so, you know, we're gonna tell you about the process to, like, get into the program of being a dental assistant, like a registered dental assistant.
Yeah.
And then she started explaining it to me, and she's like, so you're gonna need to get your general education. And I'm like, what the fuck? I have to go to college?
Yeah.
Like, I completely did this course and classes because I wanted to avoid going to college. And now you're telling me I have to go to college. What the fuck?
Stupid. You just had to get your basic, like, general classes, though, right?
Yeah, but still, like, I didn't want to do that.
You ended up doing it anyway.
And then I ended up doing it, and that's when I was like, you know what? Fuck dental assisting. Fuck all that shit. I'm just gonna get a college degree. Like, at this point, stupid.
So when's the last time you saw Christina?
I don't remember.
Dude, I remember she was like,
we follow each other on Instagram, but like, yeah.
Alright, I'm gonna follow her too, man.
Yeah.
You have everyone on there.
I guess so.
I think it's because I've changed Instagrams like 5 times.
Really?
No, maybe just 2 times.
Okay. That's like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, anyway, we got sidetracked.
Yeah, we did. I don't even know how we started talking. I know the first question is, are you confident?
I'm working on it.
Working on it?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you more confident than you were like 5 years ago, 10 years ago?
You know, it's weird because I wasn't confident at all, like, in, like, my childhood, teenage years, and everything.
I can see that.
Yeah, well, I've admitted that to you. And then somewhere around, like, my 20s, like, probably, like, 22, 23, I got, like, more confident. And then somewhere around like 27, I started to kind of like fall in my confidence.
Really?
Yeah. And now here I am, 3 years later, then working my way
You're
back
trying
up.
to bring it back up.
Yeah.
So that's interesting because I feel like confidence to me is like you either don't have it or you start getting it and it just builds.
Yeah.
But what happened like at 27?
I don't know. I would just say like
27's a bad year.
I started getting nervous about not being where I wanted to be, and I was gonna be 30.
You're almost gonna be, yeah, you gotta start thinking about that.
And so also I think because I got laid off, and that was the first time I had never had a job. I got laid off from the pandemic,
right?
And I think that probably affected my.
Your confidence. What is that?
We apologize for that fucking sound. I don't know if that was a bird or whatever. There's always weird people in here.
Yeah,
fucking skunk warriors. But yeah, so like I got laid off, and I think it kind of did affect my self-esteem. It felt like I wasn't like useful in a way, and I couldn't be there to depend on myself. So I think that affected like my self-esteem, self-confidence. Also, I was just like breaking out a lot for some reason that time.
Weird late puberty.
Yeah, and then I was like wearing that stupid mask, and like that was making shit worse, and I just like didn't feel good about how I looked or anything.
Just felt shitty all around.
And then like the pandemic happened even longer than it was like supposed to.
Yeah, we thought it was gonna be like a couple weeks.
And then I kind of just like stopped like taking care of like my physical appearance for the most part. Like I wore less makeup. I wore like I've always had a problem with my hair, but like I just didn't do my hair, and like I would just dress cozy and
sweats.
I think somehow like that also can take a toll on your self-esteem when you're just dressing like a bum.
Yeah, you gotta groom yourself every once in a while to make yourself feel better.
I'm learning that, and so up until like now, I'm like kind of barely still picking myself up.
Yeah,
because it's a lot of energy to like maintain your appearance, and like,
and especially being a girl. That's the thing that I think is annoying about being a girl.
It's so annoying.
Like we have to like get our eyebrows done and shave. I mean, like I prefer women shave. But it's like there you go. We got a lot to do, man.
Yeah, there's a lot to do, and then it's exhausting.
And we don't even do our eyelashes. Imagine if we did that.
Dude, I like occasionally will do nails, but like I did my eyelashes one time, and because I have like this phobia or fear of people touching my eyes, I can't go back and do that. And when I did it, I was like, I don't know how women fucking do this shit like every 2 weeks, and then they blow like $120 just on their lashes. But no offense to them, it's just like a lot of money, and I don't think we all need lashes.
Well, everyone has different priorities that they'll spend money on. Like,
yeah, and they look nice.
Yeah, I used to spend $200 at a gym.
But I do just want to like point this out because I think it needs to be said that yes, like women look beautiful with their lashes and their nails done, but like I also think it's important for us to save that money, I think it's important. Like I feel like,
dude, you sound like my sister right now.
I'm just like, I think it's like okay to do it every once in a while, and obviously everyone can do whatever the fuck they want with their money, but like as women, I think we spend a lot of money on our physical appearance, and we should be saving that money for like a fucking house, a car, things like that.
Dude, you're so right.
And I just don't. I'm not trying to like shame or shit on people. I just want it to be like,
think about like your future. And, the money you're actually spending. So one of my coworkers, she bought her house finally, and she said she put down like more than half of it to buy the house. And I'm like, how did you save that much money? But she did get like a mobile home, but still, like those cost like money.
Plus you can rent those.
Yeah. So I don't know how much she saved, but it was like crazy amount of money she saved, right? And I'm like, how the hell did you save that? She's like, I stopped getting my hair done, I stopped getting my nails done, I stopped eating out, and she's like,
I'm just kidding.
and she's like, so look at my hair. I never used to have my hair like this, and she's not gonna start doing that again until she pays off.
Yeah, and I think like once I like get myself situated, like I'll start like doing my hair, and I can't do my lashes. I just like that scares me. But like maybe more nails and things like that. Maybe like more facials. But yeah, I think it's important. I think because like, you know, especially since there's like women getting paid less than men. So it's, I think, and then plus like there's those little stupid things in like society, like we get charged extra for just things that are pink. In a sense, like, you know, things like shampoo and like facial wash, like for women, it's more expensive than it is for men.
Yeah, everything, like the deodorant.
Yeah, or deodorants and things like that. Anything that's like nicely geared towards women costs more.
They know that women will pay.
Yeah, that money. And then so it kind of just like makes what we're saving a lot smaller because we have to spend more because we get paid less.
Yeah.
And then we're spending it on things to make us look nice every day. And I just think about, I'm like, I don't know how some women do it. They look great, but it's like the upkeep is so exhausting. I can't even do that shit like every week, every 2 weeks. I can't even do this every month.
We're pretty low maintenance women.
Yeah.
But like, I definitely respect women and girls who like to like get their nails done and all that because like.
Because you like it, yeah.
Like, they like to do it, makes them look nice, whatever makes you also feel better, like, feel like your best self.
Yeah.
Feel like your best self, but, like, definitely know, like, what, like, you still have to worry about your future and saving. Like, there's, like, real priorities.
Yeah.
I think that's even better than, like, prioritizing your nails or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, the best products and stuff.
Yeah, totally.
And then, like, I feel like it sucks that the products cost more because then it's like, oh, now women have to rely on like a man or whatever to help them pay for shit.
That's true.
I hate that shit.
Yeah, I mean, and now there's like this newer thing where like women look nice and everything, and then they get a sugar daddy. That's like a new thing.
Yeah, there's like apps for it.
Yeah.
Those women have a lot of confidence. That's what it's about, is like what is making you feel confident.
Yeah.
Parents. So like when you started building it, you said in like 22, 23 years old.
Yeah.
How did that happen?
I think I just started feeling like I was looking better. I felt like I was I felt like I was looking better. My body was changing for the better.
Not expecting that.
I think I just felt good about where I was also.
Okay.
Like I was going to school, I had like a path of where I was headed towards. And I was just focused on that, and I was working, and you know, I felt like
job, you looked good, you felt good, you had a goal that you were going towards. Like, why wouldn't you be confident?
Yeah, so that was like helping just me as a person.
Cool.
And then there was that downfall because then you get scared to being close to 30 and you're like, shit, where the fuck am I?
I'm pretty sure it's a thing that anyone from like 27 through like even 31 have like this breakdown where they're just like, what am I going to do with my life? I'm 30, like either like I don't have kids, I'm not married, whatever. Even if you have those things, I'm sure it's still like, oh my gosh, I'm going to be 30. I can't believe it. Like, what happened to the 20s?
Yeah.
Like I'm glad that shit's over.
Yeah, so I feel myself like picking myself up, and I'm on the right track of where I should be.
I feel like everyone lost some confidence during the pandemic because we all like had an excuse to not look our best. Like we were wearing masks. Everyone kind of felt shitty about the whole thing, and we all didn't want to like be around each other too.
Yeah, and then like, you know, I feel like mentally that affected us too, because it's like we did want to be around each other, but we couldn't be around each other because you wanted to be considerate about your parents. You wanted to be mindful of just who you were going to be around.
Yeah, you want to be responsible.
Yeah. Although some people didn't fucking care or give a fuck.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But yeah, I think it did take a toll on everybody. Obviously, I think we've all addressed. I don't even want to talk about the pandemic. Like,
yeah, we've never talked about it, but like, I think it does affect confidence because like a lot of people lost their jobs and stuff, and it's like not even their fault. It was like totally because of the virus and shit like that. What's called? Because I feel like I don't know why I really like talking about confidence because I've had some friends who I guess kind of lack confidence, and they've asked me like, "Why are you so confident?"
Yeah,
and like I've never always been this way. Like this is like a new development. I think because
I feel like you've kind of always somewhat been confident within who you are, though.
Yeah, I think that's true. But like as in a lot of other areas, I have not been confident. Like when it came to like job interviews or like rejection, stuff like that. Like I've had like serious like confidence issues. But it was when I started going to school that I was like, hey, like I'm capable of doing like way more than I was or than I thought. So it built my confidence. So like my friends were like, why are you so confident? Whatever. So I think that one is like doing something like kind of hard. You know? Also, like to be honest, going to the gym gave me a ton of confidence because I was doing something hard like every time I went in there. So every time I left, I was like, oh, I'm so badass because I fucking did that shit. So yeah, like working out, working on your body, or like just doing something hard in general, I feel like helps you build confidence.
Yeah, I think working out for sure. It's kind of I guess because you kind of can physically see yourself working hard and like even the after effects of your body, you feel like even though you're sore, you still kind of feel somewhat good about like feeling sore. I don't know if you feel that way.
I love being sore.
Yeah.
And it's actually good for your brain. Like there's like so many studies proving that there's good chemicals going on in your brain after you work out.
Yeah.
So of course you're gonna feel good, but yeah, like doing something hard and like that's why I would record myself because I would like look at it and I'm like, damn, like
everyone needs to see this.
Yeah, and it gave me a confidence boost, you know. Yeah. So, yeah, like I think working out or like you don't even have to necessarily work out. Like even if you're doing a sport or if you're, I feel like being in school for sure because that shit's hard.
School is hard for sure. Yeah. What was your next question?
How does someone build confidence?
Apparently, you just need to work out and film yourself.
Yeah, that's all you really need to do. But like, seriously, like a lot of people struggle with confidence.
True.
You know? Like going on a job interview and like even with my interview tomorrow, like I would say I'm a pretty confident person, but like I still feel very nervous about it.
I feel like interviews, you're always not going to be. I think everyone's always going to be a little bit nervous, or like.
I think it's
natural and it's normal. But I think if it's for like a bullshit job, like those are the types of interviews that I'm like, I don't even care if I get this job. It's fine. It's just another like. I don't know, experience for me to not get so nervous the next time around, if that makes sense.
Yeah, like just like a practice.
Yeah, that's how I see a lot of interviews. Because I'm just like, I don't even really want to work here, so I just need money.
But I actually really do want to go to school, so I'm like, shit, like, you know, I don't know. That makes it even more because, like, I care so much about it. You know? But I don't know. I guess I'm still pretty confident.
Yeah, I think you've always been kind of confident in who you are as an individual for the most part.
I think also like my family has a lot to do with that because they're very supportive.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. It sucks that there's so many people that don't have supportive families.
There's just so many people that don't have support in general.
Yeah,
and it's
so
sad.
important.
Yeah.
It really sucks because if you can't have support from your family, like maybe you'll have from your friends.
Yeah.
But if not, maybe you'll have it from a therapist or a coach or a gym.
Or just find it within yourself. I don't.
If they could.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I feel like, not that my family wasn't supportive, because they were, but I think they could have supported me in a lot of other ways that maybe I needed. And I think you kind of start your self-esteem building from your family, right?
Right.
It's kind of like the people you're around. And I think because maybe my mom wasn't, I think my mom lacked a lot of confidence, and she probably saw that little bit of her in me. So she made it seem like it was okay for me to kind of lack confidence, or like, this goes back to even like, she recognized that I hated school from the beginning when I was a kid. And so she always said it was okay, it's okay, you don't have to go to college, it's okay, you don't have to like do it this way and everything, which is fine. But I feel like I could have been pushed a little more, maybe supported a little more to see that I actually did have more potential, than what maybe everyone else thought, and maybe even what she thought. And I think that's where my self-esteem was probably diminishing over time, because, and I don't want to like say that my mom didn't believe in me or anything, because I'm not trying to make it sound that way. It's just, I think that both her and my dad could have like pushed me a little more to see, or to even try to do things. And I think that's probably where my self-esteem was already rocky, and could have used some help.
That's really interesting.
Yeah.
Actually, I feel like it could go either way because, like, you were forced in that situation to like find the confidence or find your own potential within yourself.
Yeah.
And like, it might take longer because if your parents are like, "Oh, it's fine," then you're like, "Okay, it's fine."
Yeah.
But after a while, you're just like, "Wait," but I'm like not that happy, and like I don't really know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So okay, I'm not gonna listen to them anymore.
And that's kind of what I had to do.
Yeah. So you're like, all right, shit. Like, I'm gonna see like what else I could do, and like you had to build it yourself. Which is awesome that you did that, and like once you did, then your parents are like, hey, we're still supporting you.
Yeah.
Whatever you're gonna do.
Yeah, and they've always been that way. It's just that like, I think it's also like generational trauma that our families experience. Like, my grandma was more of just like in survival mode. She was a single mom. She just needed to take care of her kids and like get them grown and like, feed them and put a home over their head.
So it's like, I wonder how your mom's life was growing up. Like, what did her mom tell her?
Right. So my mom, because she's the oldest, she was kind of like, had to be more responsible. She had to like hold her shit down by herself.
She's like the second mom.
Yeah, and like my grandma couldn't teach her a lot. Like my mom had to learn and figure out everything on her own, and she did fine. But I know that there's a part of her that wanted to probably still do more. And I think because she had me and my brother, she probably settled. And, that's probably what happens to a lot of moms. And they just want to end up raising their kids well, and, hopefully their kids they can live through their kids.
Right.
In a way. So I think that's where like my mom lacked that confidence. And so she was just okay with me like being in a similar position probably.
Yeah.
Versus some parents where they're just like, they make their kids read. They make their kids like do all these things that
It's hard thing.
yeah, that they don't want to do, but in the end, it's a little bit beneficial for them. You know?
Yeah. I mean, I remember my mom, like, she made me, like, she would take me to colleges and, like, you know, show me around and, like, she wanted me to go to college. And I was like, Mom, like, I don't know anything about college. I've been getting bad grades this whole time.
Yeah.
So, like, she was making me do hard things, but she wasn't giving me, like, the tools or preparation in order to do it. So, when it came down to, like, me actually trying to support it, when it came down to, like, me applying to schools and, like, not getting in, I felt like a disappointment. So, I mean, and then it kind of made me settle for, like, you know, community college or whatever, and I was just like that whole time I was like, oh, like, I suck, like, I'm disappointed, you know?
Yeah.
But after a while, I was just like, you know what, like, I don't know, it takes time to mature,
Yeah.
to find yourself.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like the opposite for me, but I guess it both worked out for us in the end because we still have support at the end of the day.
Yeah, and that's the important part, and it's important to see that like our parents did the best that they could.
Yeah,
you know,
definitely.
With the lack of information and resources they had, and so it's not to put a whole blame on them. It's just to acknowledge it and move forward and be like, exactly. This is what it is, and we've both grown from that. We both are still figuring out who we are, and you know, as long as we're still growing and not settling, I think that's the most important part.
Yeah. I just think it's crazy how like the generational trauma happens and how it affects our parents and like their parenting style, but like I feel like as long as our basic needs were met, like we're able to kind of figure it out the rest of ourselves, which actually makes us stronger. That we did have to kind of figure it out.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's, and obviously that's the advantage that some people have when they grow into wealth or they're just born into wealth, because they actually don't have to work as hard to get out of that survival mode. I feel like even though my grandma was in survival mode, I feel like my mom was also. And then I somewhat got some of that because I feel like I'm like calm and I'm okay right now, but I still feel like I still feel like mentally in survival mode, and I need to like chill out so that way I can focus on the shit that I need to do to get done.
Yeah. And actually enjoy like the day to day.
Yeah, and be in the present and stuff.
Dude, isn't that crazy that like even though you've never like been homeless or like had to move countries or anything, like you still can feel that trauma?
Yeah.
So freaking crazy.
Yeah, so that's why like time is super. That's why I get anxious, because time is just like going by and I need to get all these things done. And
yeah, you've always said that for like, ever since I've known you. Like, I always feel like I'm running out of time. And like back then I was like, what is she talking about? But now I'm starting to get
okay. Yeah, I mean, because I haven't stopped, even though I started out of community college and have worked my way through all these jobs and things like that. Like, I still haven't stopped, and that's why I'm saying like I'm barely chilling out about like getting out of survival mode, because I've essentially prepared myself and set myself up so that way I can like not be in survival mode. And so I'm finally kind of there, and this is my time to focus on like what I need to do.
Yeah, it's time to chill and like I think that's what your 30s are about.
Yeah.
Like
not like chill, but just like be less anxious and just like do it instead of, you know, all the planning that I did in my 20s and my efforts and trying to figure out where I was going to go. Because I feel like I wasted a lot of time at community college trying to figure out what I wanted to major in.
Yeah, how many times did you change your major?
A lot.
I changed mine 3 times.
I think mine was probably like 3, 4.
What was the first major?
I don't even fucking know, dude. It's probably art.
Yeah, what was the second one?
Well, technically, if you want to like say, my original major would have been like dental assisting.
Okay.
Because I spent time doing that,
Yeah.
and then it was probably art, and then I don't know. Maybe like philosophy. I really liked philosophy.
I remember you liked anthro too.
I did like anthropology. I didn't change my major to that, but I did like philosophy. I liked logic a lot.
And then you finally changed it to social.
And then I wanted to do philosophy and then business, and then
I was gonna say, wasn't business one of them?
And then I finally changed it to sociology.
Dude, you changed yours more than me.
Yeah. So I took a lot of classes, and I think I took like 3 or 4 years at PCC to finally technically I guess I graduated, but I didn't go to graduation, but I came out with like 3 associate's degrees.
Yeah, you took like every class possible. Yeah, that kind of reminds me of in the last episode. I don't know how this came up, but you were saying like jack of all trades.
Yeah.
And I feel like that too, because like I feel like we just have so many interests, and a lot of people do, and it's kind of like, which one do you pick, and like which one are you going to be like really good at?
Yeah, because like for me, I'm really open to like learning everything. I want to learn like what I'm interested in, and sometimes I'm interested in like the most randomest shit. You know, like I am interested in money, and I am interested in art, and I am interested in like building communities. Like I can somehow, and I'm gonna end up like bringing all those things together. I'm interested in food too, and yeah, like we do have a lot of interests.
Yeah, it's really frustrating.
And I think it's going to benefit us in the long run, because there's just like random times where I'm like, oh, I know this because I did that, because I learned that.
Right.
The only class or experience was the CPR class that never helped me do anything, but
except
yeah, that's all I learned. I don't even know how to do CPR.
Dude, me neither. I'm supposed to have my CPR license on my job right now, but I don't.
I had my CPR license, like, or certificate, whatever the fuck that is, 3, 4 times already, because I worked with kids for a while.
Oh, yeah.
And I still don't know how to give CPR, and thank God none of those kids passed out, because, like, I wouldn't be able to stay there.
Yeah, we should learn that shit, like, once and for all.
Probably.
I would say that, like, freaking doing all those classes and changing majors, like, I feel like that builds a lot of confidence, too, instead of, like, picking one thing and being like, okay, I'm just gonna do this, and, like, I think that's great, too, because obviously you're very skilled in whatever it is you learn.
Yeah.
But it's good to learn things from, like, different perspectives and always trying new things, because, I don't know, I think being open-minded is super important.
It is. And there are some people that they'll just be like, this is what I want to do, this is what I want to do, this is what I want to do, and they finally do it, and then they're like, it's actually not what I wanted to do.
Yeah, that freaking sucks. It happens all the time, and, like, I don't really know many people like this, but I know they're out there that do this job for years and years and years and freaking hate it.
Yeah,
like,
I actually know people, a lot of people are like that.
How do they deal with it? They drink on the weekends, probably.
Everyone's gonna have their way of coping and dealing with it. But I don't know. There's some people that settle, and then there's some people that don't. That's it. That's all I can say, is that some people settle with what they have, even if they're unhappy, and then some people are always striving for more. And I feel like we're both like the people that don't settle.
Yeah, like example. Just popped in my head that happened yesterday. At work, I had to pick someone up from LAX, and I was pissed.
So yeah, it's terrible over there.
Yeah, and I was gone for 4 hours because their flight was delayed. So I was waiting around. But I told them, I was like, I told my my coworker, I was like, why can't they just get them an Uber? This company has so much money.
Yeah.
Uber costs $50, but they're trying to save money having me go and do it.
Yeah.
So I was pissed, and then I was like, okay, should I be pissed or should I just be like grateful? You know, I have a job, like it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
But the point is, to me, like I didn't sign up for this.
True.
You know? Like if I wanted to do this, like I would have just been an Uber driver.
Yeah.
So I was annoyed, honestly, the whole time, and I'm like, okay, like what am I gonna do with this annoyance? Like, am I gonna look for a new job? Am I gonna complain? What am I gonna do?
Yeah.
And I think it's good that I got angry and I got annoyed because eventually, like that is gonna push me to want something more.
To get out, yeah.
To get out and do something. And I don't hate my job because there's a lot of things I like about it.
Mm-hmm.
But the more times that I'm going to get annoyed, and this goes for any situation, it's kind of like just notice and recognize that and don't be like, oh, like,
this is it, yeah.
This is it, I should suck it up. It's like, no, like, you have options and you can go do something else.
Yeah.
Because, and I think that's where you need to have the confidence. Like, yes, I can go and do something else because I didn't sign up to be an Uber driver. And, like, I don't want to work for a company that isn't gonna freaking just pay for a $50 Uber.
Yeah, right.
To solve the problem like that.
Yeah, I feel like in that sense, I think there's, now that I'm thinking about it and listening to you say that, I think there's different types of confidence that you can have within yourself, and for that, what you're saying, I feel like I've always had the confidence where I was never complacent with being in a job, and I never saw myself ever staying in a job because I already know and I already knew how it was going to be. You're going to be underpaid, undervalued, and you're going to get treated like shit, and they're going to actually try to make you and convince you to think that you're a piece of shit and that you need to stay there and that you're not valuable. And I never let that shit get to me because I'm like, what the fuck? I don't want to work for a fucking penguin the rest of my life.
Yeah, that is a certain type of confidence, and that is a type that I didn't have for a long time.
Okay.
I think you had early on.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Because I just saw it for what it was. I've always seen like business for what it is, and it's taking advantage of people, convincing them that they're not shit, and letting them be okay with how low you're paying them.
Yeah.
And making them think that they're not going to find anything better than that. Like, that's what it is. And I guess my mom actually helped me build that confidence and to never settle for that. She always told me not to let my employers treat me like shit.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
No, I was never told that.
And to stand up for myself, and I always did. I always stood up for myself. I always spoke my mind. I still always speak my mind. Because I get it. Sometimes, like especially in my position, I have to bite my tongue sometimes.
Yeah, there's times when you have to.
But there are times where I still want to be honest and transparent and, you know, be fair about how I feel and how maybe my employer is making me feel or my work is making me feel. So
yeah, that's really important. And like, kind of like finding that middle ground between like, am I complaining too much?
Yeah.
Or am I like really being treated unfairly? Because sometimes I'm like, I complain too much, but then I'm like, but I really don't. Like, I'm not a complainer.
Yeah, I am. I love complaining. I love complaining about shit because life isn't fair and it's never going to be fair. And I just, you know, there's a concert going on in the back.
So good.
I like complaining.
Yeah.
I think it's fun and funny sometimes. And then there are times where, but I also feel like I'm a fair complainer. I don't like overly complain about shit. I'm not always sending my food back. I don't you know, those are things that I can like let those pass me. It's not going to faze me. There's a lot of things that don't faze me actually. But if it's something that's important, I'm going to complain about it.
like, to be honest, I hate people that complain a lot. Like, it bothers me so much because to me,
do you think I complain a lot?
I don't, but now that you mention it, I wouldn't say you complain, but I feel like you have a lot to say about certain topics and you will just speak your mind about it.
Okay, those are nicer words.
You complain about the government.
Yeah, I fucking hate the government.
But, like, people who annoy me that complain a lot complain about the stupidest shit that I think they are able to solve themselves.
Yes, there are those type of people that complain just to complain. Yeah. And for me, I complain about shit, but then I fix it and I get things in motion.
Yeah.
But there are annoying people that will complain and they'll be like, oh my god, I hate my job. Oh my god, I hate the way they talk to me. I hate the way they treat me. I hate that I have to work like this. I hate, you know, and it's like, and then they're still doing the same shit. It's like, what?
Yeah. Like, that's why, like, I try not to complain because I'm like, oh, I don't want to be like those people that complain all the time. But then I'm like, well, actually, my sister told me this the other day. She's like, it's good to complain. Listen to your complaints because you'll freaking realize, like, what you're unhappy about.
Yeah.
Because I don't think Lewis listens to the podcast, but she was telling me that.
Does your sister listen to the podcast?
I don't know. She told me to send it to her, and I did. So, but she never told me anything about it.
She's listening
right now.
Hi, Jen.
Hey, sissy. She told me that, like, Lewis is like, you know, I go to work every day and I never complain. And she's like, well, why don't you?
I like your sister's mentality every time you tell me things about her because she's very level-headed and very, like, she doesn't deal with bullshit and, like, she's very, like, a problem solver.
Yes, she loves to solve problems. If there's a problem, she's like, where is it?
Yeah.
Let's dissect it. And also, the thing about my sister is she's not very emotional.
Yeah.
So, like, her problem solving is very, like, logical and, like, no emotions involved. But, yeah, it was interesting because she's like, why don't you complain? Maybe if you complain more, you change something about what's going on. Like, listen to your complaints. So it's kind of like, yeah, listen to your complaints and then do something about it.
Yeah, exactly. Don't just sit there and complain. Yeah. Like, nobody likes that.
Yeah.
Like, do something about it. Fix your problem.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I was just thinking about that because I was so pissed yesterday. And then at the end, when I finished it, I was like, well, it wasn't that bad, but if they're going to keep doing this, like, I'm just going to tell them straight up, you know, like, I'm not an Uber driver.
Yeah.
I don't get paid enough for that, and this is not why I work here. So, like,
yeah,
you know, I'm looking for a new
job. Yeah.
Change my position or something.
Yeah. And I think we should all be always looking for a new job, to be honest. So? Yeah. Don't ever settle. And if you're not going to be looking for a new job, make it your last job so that way you can start your business and do that shit. Because that's what I plan on doing. That's what I feel like I'm doing right now.
Yeah.
So.
That's awesome. Like, your next job is your own thing.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what I keep telling myself.
Yeah. That would be awesome.
Because, yeah, I'm tired of working for people, to be honest.
Yeah, true.
And,
but I think, like, getting the whole financial thing going is going to help you out a lot because you can actually see, like, the numbers. And this is kind of because, like, now that we're in our early 30s, we're getting our finances.
Yeah, and so that's important is to get my finances aligned so that way I'm set up for success, you know, to be able to make that next move, to start a business, to be able to, like, feel okay. I'm the type of person that needs to be prepared. I need to, like, have all my ducks in a row in order to make my next move. Unfortunately, and this is it benefits me, but it also can set me back where I need to have everything lined up in order to do it. So that way, if I fall back, I still have myself to back myself up. Instead of some people, they just jump and they do shit and it works out and, like, that's good for them, but that's never been my life. So I'm never gonna ever think that that's always gonna work out for me.
Lucky
Yeah, I'm the most unluckiest person in the world, so I need to have everything lined up.
Yeah, and I think that's good. Like that's the way it should be. You should be prepared because like you're obviously taking a risk.
Yeah,
So be prepared for the risk you're taking. It's cool that you're even thinking about doing that because so many people are too scared. You know?
yeah. I feel like right now we're in a time, like you were saying too, where everyone is trying to be an entrepreneur and
Right.
like kind of waking up a little bit.
Everyone's tired of working for someone because they realize, like, hey, we're all gonna die someday. And
Yeah.
there's like a huge pandemic, and so many people died. And like now that the internet is like everything,
Yeah,
like you don't even need to see each other in person. Like you can literally have your business online, and like it's crazy how many people make money on YouTube. To be honest,
that is so crazy, and it's something. Sometimes I'm like, that would be really cool to be like a YouTuber
yeah,
or an influencer and all that
of
shit,
course,
but it's just not in me.
yeah,
I can't really be that consistent
right.
on selling myself because I'm all over the place. There's some people, they specifically will post like they're like traveling constantly and they're always posting like those photos. I'm just like, I can't do that. I can't be that consistent.
I asked my mom.
I need to chill sometimes.
My mom watches a lot of YouTubers who like decorate their homes or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh mom, if I had a YouTube channel, what do you think it should be about? She's like, photography. Duh. I'm like, oh, you think so? She's like, yeah, like, when you go and you take your pictures, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, yeah, that's true. I'm like, can you go record me? He's like, yeah, but it's been too cold.
Yeah, I know.
But it's a lot of work.
It is. There's so much work. But even like the minimal efforts that we do with this podcast, like it's still a lot of work,
Yeah.
I feel like it is.
Yeah, because you edit.
And we still have to meet up, we have to like plan our day accordingly to how we meet up or when we meet up, and like scheduling takes time.
But it's honestly fun, and like
it is fun.
I look forward to it, and like ever since we started doing it, and ever since I'm starting to do all these other things, I'm like so busy. But I'm like honestly, I'm so happy that I'm busy because like. And when I do have free, because then I get depressed.
Yeah.
Because then I have free time. I'm like, oh, I can relax, or I can actually do something I want to do.
Yeah.
It feels good.
Yeah.
So, like, doing this and, like, going through the traffic, I'm like, freaking love traffic. Yeah, like, I'm actually have to go somewhere.
Yeah, you have something to look forward to, and it's nice to see that, like, even with our minimal effort of this podcast, like, I didn't invest a lot in the equipment, and like it's just like what it is. We don't have this expensive software or anything.
Right.
And it's just like, and surprisingly, like our audience is growing and like we're growing and the podcast is getting better and better. So
yeah, it is. You know how many people, when I tell them I do a podcast, they're like, I wanted to do a podcast. Like, so many people. And I was like, just freaking do it.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that always tell me, like, oh, I want to be on the podcast, or, like, I want to, like, yeah. And I'm down to do that.
Come on.
I just feel like right now we've just been so busy. So, like, in the summer, maybe we can, like, pick up on, like, interviewing people or having people on the podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
But I was going to say, like, the thing about us is, like, we'll just, like, most of the time, we'll just do it.
Yeah.
We'll just do it.
Just do it. Just try it.
Yeah.
And, the thing is, and we've talked about this before, is that, like, we do it. We're easy to do it. But to be consistent about it is where, we struggle. And
now we're being consistent.
And we're being super consistent. Yeah. And it's actually good for both of us.
Yeah. We're being pushed.
And,
in a good way.
Yeah, like, who knows where this will go, but I feel like when I say things out loud, I'm able to hear myself after and be like, that's what I said. And maybe I'll change my mind afterwards, but, like, it's nice to, like, say these things out loud and hear myself, because I think I'm going to grow as a person hearing what I say.
I never thought about that.
Yeah, like, our minds are always changing. Like, you can always change your mind and feel differently about something you said, you know. But it's nice to like go back and listen to these, you know, a few days later, and I'm just like, oh, that's what I said. Or like even if we come back to it a year later, it's like I don't know if I feel that way anymore, you know?
Yeah, that's what I'm interested to hear is like next year, like what are our thoughts going to be, and like how much have we changed?
And the most important thing is that like we keep growing, and I think it's important that our minds do change about things or how we feel about things. And if we're not, then I think we need to work on that, because
For sure.
you don't want to look back a year later and be like, I still feel the same exact way.
I still think the same thing. Yeah, that might be a good thing.
Yeah. So this is like documented in a way, or recorded, so that way we can hear ourselves and, you know, grow from that.
Hey, I wish we'd done this for a long time, years ago.
But the thing is, it's like you're gonna look back in 5 years and then be like, oh, I wish I started that podcast.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like you start now, do it.
That's so true.
And be consistent. Make that your goal, because right now being consistent is my goal.
Yeah,
so
it is your goal.
I don't care about the quality right now, and maybe I should, but
I don't know what my goal is right now.
I just want to be consistent. Make sure I have this out every Monday, and like just do it.
Just do it.
Yeah, but
end it with just do it.
Yeah, we might get sued from Nike though, but so don't say that. Also, we're on Apple now, so listen to the podcast on Apple Podcasts. We're on Spotify and Apple. And if you listen to anything else, let us know so we can work on getting it. Yeah. What else?
We have topics for next week already because we didn't go over everything.
Okay.
Next week, lessons that have made us change for the better.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, I don't want to talk about that.
I'm like, I don't know. I think next week I might want to do a poll, but we'll use that as like a option.
Sure.
Because I don't know if I want to talk about my lessons learned.
Okay.
Or maybe I do.
Whatever.
Just see how I'm feeling. Okay, so that's it for today. And thanks for listening, guys.
Bye-bye.
Like and subscribe to this. Bye.